Okay, Arvin, the other week we covered kind of the reimbursements, the different types of reimbursements, and what you can ask Amazon to reimburse you for. And one of them, which you said was kind of the second largest category, is lost inbound reimbursement. So essentially, you ship in, let's say, 100 or 1,000 units to Amazon's FBA warehouse. You use hopefully Amazon partnered carrier, and Amazon
Mm-hmm.
shows that they only receive, let's say, 95 units. So we're missing 5 units. So we can ask Amazon for a reimbursement. But can you walk us through kind of the process and maybe what some of kind of the common problems are? Because sometimes we know Amazon will reject your request or what have you. So yeah, how does the process work and what do you need to actually ask for the reimbursement? And then what are some of the common things that happen to prevent you from getting the reimbursement?
Yeah, first thing that you need to do is first to wait for the shipment to complete or to mark as closed. Then that's the only time that you can actually ask Amazon for an investigation. And sometimes the system will automatically say that yeah that Amazon already investigated and this is not eligible for a reimbursement. If you believe that Amazon should really still investigate and provide you the reimbursement, then yeah, raise a case. So the workaround there will vary depending on like what type of seller you are. If you're a reseller or an online arbitrage sellers or maybe a wholesaler, then you need to provide Amazon an invoice where like that shows that you actually bought this one, this is much units, and this is what I shipped in. So and then they will start investigating it. Sometimes, like for example, especially for a wholesaler that they buy a lot of units and they are not actually sending all of these units at once to Amazon. But then
Mhm.
you just have to specify it to the seller support. As long as it's a legit invoice and that the invoice is actually for the shipment, then Amazon should accept it. And then for a seller or a reseller for a private label owner, the one who I'd say manufactured the product, you don't really need to provide an invoice because as a manufacturer, you only issue an invoice to any customer who bought the product from you. And since you just send the inventory to Amazon, so you didn't really sell it yet. So what you need to provide is a packing slip, where in on that packing slip it shows the number of units inside every boxes, when did you ship it, and then make sure also that the information like match the seller's central account. And that's what you can use to file a reimbursement claim.
Mhm.
And with this too, actually, it's a little bit harder for a private label owner to actually ask for a reimbursement because a packing slip is something that anyone can do as long as this document is actually correct and you're not just fabricating the document to claim a reimbursement,
Mhm.
then you are good.
So yeah, that's awesome.
So
So normally the process Amazon's made it pretty easy in their workflow is if you've created a shipment inbound, you'll be able to obviously see on the shipments page all the shipments and it'll show their status. And I mean the first thing is wait till the shipment's closed. If you try to open a case before then, Amazon's just going to kick it back. You won't have the option to open the case on the actual shipment anyway. But if you
yeah,
try to go around and open one on the side, Amazon's just going to tell you you have to wait till the shipment's closed. So, number one, wait till the shipment's closed. If you notice the shipment's closed and now you are seeing that there's a discrepancy, first off, correct me if I'm wrong. The windows, you have 6 months from the date that it closes to raise a case. Is that correct? And after that, you can't raise cases anymore for reimbursements.
yeah, that's my understand. And the only thing I'm not sure is if it's going to be from the time that the shipment has been marked as closed or from the creation date. I believe it is from the shipment is marked as closed, and
Okay.
Amazon will give you 6 months.
So,
Yeah.
and then the process is pretty easy. If you go to the shipment, normally there's going to be a drop down that says, I think units not sent. There's one other one, and
Yeah.
then missing,
Missing.
please investigate, which is what you
Yeah.
want to click. In that drop down, then it'll show what you need to submit, which is normally Amazon, exactly what you said, Arvin, right? It's going to ask for either an invoice, proof, some kind of proof of purchase document, um, packing slip, or sometimes bill of lading, the BOL, assigned
Yeah.
BOL.
BOL. Yeah.
Um, and then that's pretty much it. You give that information, hit submit, and it'll create the case ID, which normally, hopefully, will result in you getting a reimbursement. So that's the workflow. What are kind of the common things that happen where Amazon declines maybe your request, or where you actually should see that there's like a discrepancy, but you don't have that option to open a case?
Just sometimes they will say that they investigated and that this is not eligible. So you can always just contest. But before going into that, one thing that I forgot to mention is that aside from you being like different type of seller, it will vary based on the fulfillment method or the shipping method that you use. Amazon, they have partnered carrier. So
Yeah,
if you're using a partnered carrier, then you don't need to provide this BOL or this proof of delivery to Amazon because they are partnered anyway. But if you have it, then it's good to submit it. But since because they are a partner, these partners are actually, that that this all of these are things that they should be covering. But if you use your own carrier, maybe you have your own UPS account and you send this inventory, then you have to provide Amazon a copy of the proof of delivery signed and stamped by Amazon. And if you don't have that, then you cannot claim any like reimbursement. They will automatically decline it.
yeah, that's a good
So
call out. And that's why, I mean, for me, from my experience, I always recommend, normally the cost is less, but using anyway, so all the arguments are in favor of it normally, but using the partner carrier, because then it just makes it easier if you do run into a problem. You don't have to jump
yeah,
through extra steps. I know that well, I know we both have worked with clients that are in, let's say, the hazmat program for some of their products, and so they're eligible to send them into FBA, but Amazon, at least as of now, doesn't allow you to use a partner carrier. They force you to go and book your own UPS or FedEx pickup and delivery. So
yeah,
then if there's a problem, which I don't know why hazmat, but I often see with hazmat, this ends up being more frequent, is if you go and actually open a case, Amazon's going to normally end up kind of putting, not blame, the onus. I won't use the word blame. They'll put the onus back on you and say,
mhm,
well, you need to reach out to UPS or FedEx and ask for, them to investigate it, because we only received 3 or 4 units when we were supposed to get 10 units or something. And so that's one of the
yeah,
downsides of not using, I think, the partnered carrier system. Um, so yeah, anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I can echo that.
yeah,
That's a
okay,
big challenge and a big call out too, is try to use the partnered carrier side of the equation.
yeah. True. So yeah, just going back to the question before the partner carrier. The challenge there is actually, if the system automatically tagged it as investigation completed, but then as I said earlier, you can always contest and ask raise a case there and mention the shipment ID and say that I have all of these documents. Please investigate and issue a reimbursement like when you see necessary. But also, one thing I would like to mention, since I kind of say it earlier, that don't fabricate a document because it actually you're putting your account at risk, especially if you know that you really short shipped your product. Like when you created the shipment, you thought that you can send 100 units to FBA, but when you check your warehouse, you only have 60 units to send, and you decided to not cancel that shipment and use it still. Then when Amazon marked the shipment as complete, there's like 40 discrepancy. Don't ask for reimbursement, or maybe someone on your team didn't know and then they decided to create the packing slip and ask you to sign it.
Mhm.
So yeah, those are like very important information, because like I have one experience with a friend of mine that got deactivated because of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
and it's hard to appeal.
fabricate. We have another video on this, but it's okay to annotate documents, but don't try to game the system. Otherwise, even if you don't get caught immediately, you will get caught eventually, and it's not normally worth your selling account. The
Mm-hmm.
one other one, I know I've personally made a mistake on this before, is when Amazon if you're constantly shipping, let's say you have one product that sells great, you're constantly kind of going through this process, if you're shipping every week, maybe multiple times a week, and you're, let's say, opening cases, is make sure that the invoice that you're providing Amazon is one, it shows a total, like if you're shipping 1,000 units, that invoice, or if you're submitting multiple invoices, have to show at least 1,000 total units on them or more, which makes sense, right? But
Yeah.
even it's common sense. I know I personally messed up on this, just not paying attention, or had, other people we've worked with done the same. So make sure that your invoice or invoices have at least the total number of units or greater. And number two
Mm-hmm.
is make sure the date that the invoice is for is obviously before the date that the shipment was created. Otherwise, again, Amazon's going to kick it back. Those are some other common
Yeah.
ones that I've personally done wrong. And, it's pretty easy to just give them whatever the most recent invoice was that you have, which, so just trying to save time. Anything else to add? Anything else we haven't covered on this one?
Yeah, well, the only thing that I would like to add more is sometimes even though you have the legit document and then you raise the cases, Amazon will not sometimes issue reimbursement to you. So be consistent. Don't let your cases be marked as closed without the resolution that you're looking for. So, because I know, if let's say that the case ID that you created has been marked as closed, then it may be a little bit more difficult to get a reimbursement because when you file a case for the shipment, you are actually going to the shipment dashboard and look for anything that has any discrepancy. And as you said earlier, there will be a drop down there that says the units are not sent or like missing units, please investigate. Then it will create a specific case ID. And if that case ID has been marked as closed without the resolution that you're looking for, then it will be hard to open a new case using the normal case support of Amazon. So please monitor the cases and don't let it be marked as closed. So yeah, that's the only thing there.
Awesome. Well, that's it for this video. If anyone watching, listening does have questions, let us know in the comments below the video, or you can get in touch with us. We'll put our LinkedIn accounts or something that you can find us and reach out. We're more than happy to help. Or if there's a topic that you want us to do a video on, let us know in the comments as well, and we'll try our best to get to that. But Arvin, thanks. I think that's it for this one. So I'll say goodbye, but we'll be back for more videos soon. Cheers.
Soon. Bye.